Hey guys, Matt is here, and today I am back for the last day of r/SupernovaRevenge. Now, I am recording this, as of the day I'm recording this, it is actually I'm in November, but I have an idea for the finale of this whole subreddit. Or, no, not the subreddit, the whole series that I'm doing. Because at the moment, I've cut back to 3 videos a week for this subreddit. I don't know if I'll go back to a full month for the next one or the one after. I'm thinking of keeping it all as 3 days because just these stories are crazy. But I'm also thinking of February 28th, the last day of this 8-month project that I'm doing. I'm going to do a super special episode where it's just a mega episode where I read a story from every subreddit. And that's 8 different subreddits. So we'll go from malicious compliance all the way through to Big Bang Revenge. Let me know in the comments if that sounds like an awesome idea to you guys. This video won't even be seen until like late December, like towards the end of the year, but I still want to go with the idea. Okay, with that out of the way, I got 2 stories for today, and the first one on that list is the top of all time, so we'll be saving that for last. So we're gonna go straight to this story here. Since people are stealing this to cross-post, I figure I should do it myself, considering it's my forking experience and story to tell. I hate forking karma chasers. Yes. And that's why I was trying to avoid a lot of the cross-posts, so considering this person is cross-posting themselves into the subreddit, that's good enough for me. So, we're going to be reading a story from r/SupernovaRevenge that I avoided. Not because I was avoiding it on purpose. It's just like I've gone through every single day of that month. Like, as of right now, it's like beyond day 15 of nuclear revenge. So let's go. Trying to commit bigamy. Bigamy. Think again, motherfucker. Abusive spouse follow-up. Oh, this is a follow-up. Huh. Okay. TLDR at the end. I'm the same person who wrote about the story my darling sibling, DS. Oh, I think I read the original of this. I think I read the prequel to this story as well. X's world, after he mentally, emotionally abused them, was chronically unfaithful, cheated while they were across the world, and then publicly dumped them on Facebook. Actually, I did read that story. It was the 10,000 kilometer story. I need to check if that was today or not. Like, if that's in today's episode that comes out. Not now, though. I'll have to check after, and I'll note it in the next episode of in Big Bang Revenge. Oh no, not Big Bang, Black Hole Revenge. Now, this is about the spouse that I married on that fateful day by DS. Faithful visit by DS. Now, when I met Can't Face, hereto known as CF, he was ideal. He was what I thought I needed. I believed I loved him, and that the fairy tale was real. We met by random chance, both many hours from our homes. Me whilst running away from a situation at home, he while a planned trip abroad. I ended up in Europe within a month, and we married about 10 months later. All good, right? Well, it was. Until I started racking up multiple university degrees with honours, and he began to realise that not only was I significantly younger, about 17 years, thinner, a big issue in his mind, not in mine at all, and according to him, better looking, I was now significantly better educated. He was always a bit insecure, but the degree seemed to push him over the edge. While I was visiting for my spousal visa, things were falling apart. We both kind of gave up, but decided to resolve to save our marriage. I moved and found that nothing he had promised to prepare had happened. The home situation was a mess. We were living with his quite elderly widower father, and he was meant to be taking care of him and the household. None of this was happening. Instead, both CF and his disgusting sister, now known as Ugly Fork, or UF, were essentially living as leeches off their 80-something father. I tried to make things work, but within a week and a half of me landing, he threw an iPad at my head and punched the wall next to my head, while screaming that he could have me deported at will. Okay, well, fine. I made a promise. I kept trying. It got worse. I took months of emotional abuse, insults, threats, cursing, and everything else short of him actually laying hands on me. Okay. 6 months later, he randomly disappeared for 2 weeks to visit Seattle without mentioning it to me. I left. I started over with nothing much to my name, but a job and a bit of money, thousands of kilometers from anyone I knew. He expected me to run home. I didn't falter. I blossomed. About a year later, I met my present partner, who has been the truest and most loyal partner I could have wished for. Truly, if I had to do it all again, I would if I knew my partner would be on the other side. Now for my revenge. I happened to find out that he had a new girlfriend that seemed very serious, and noticed she had mentioned wedding planning on social media. You have to keep tabs on your abusers, especially when your safety is at risk. Now she's welcome to him. The only issue is, due to draconian divorce laws in my current country, we were not divorced yet. He planned on marrying her in another country. When we met, he told me he had never been married. I later found out he was indeed divorced. I was willing to bet he fed her the same exact lie. So I sent her a message. My suspicions were confirmed. He told her he had never been married. I was wife number 2. She didn't want to believe it until I sent her a photo of our marriage license as well as a few wedding photos. I did feel really badly about doing that to her because I could tell how hurt she was, but I knew it was better for her to know the truth than to inadvertently marry him the next month in Seattle. Oh, goddamn. As they had planned. She had children. She had a violent ex-husband. She and I actually ended the conversation on a positive note, with her thanking me and me apologizing, explaining why I felt I had to tell her. And then the fallout. Along with all the other Fallout games. My phone started blowing the fork up. Unknown number. In the evening. Wonder who that might be. It might be someone I know. I was out enjoying a lovely dinner with my partner and answered the call on speaker. In came the usual threats to my personal security and blah blah blah. I could only laugh. He didn't know where I was, nor was he getting past my partner. I could finally relax, knowing I was safe after months of night terrors. And then I have lost the love of my life because of you. She has left me and thrown all of my things out of her home. People, I lost it. I could not stop laughing. It was poetic. He sent a similar email to my mother laced with blatant lies about me, as if she didn't know the play-by-play as it was happening, and as if she believed a word he had to say. After I got done laughing, I hung up on him and had my number changed. Then I remembered his sister, the ugly fork, was living at the same home. UF has a disabled daughter that lives 200 kilometers away that she claims benefits for, including an apartment and money allowances. She then sublets the handicap-accessible apartment to her boyfriend illegally, whilst leeching off of her father. She's also a thief, caught on hidden camera, literally taking notes out of CF's wallet. CF and UF absolutely despise each other and are only both living there in hopes of driving the other out in order to get the house as inheritance. Now, if UF got reported to the council for fraud and they did a minimal investigation, they'd see she was falsely claiming benefits for an adult daughter who lived far away and had her own benefits deserved from another council. She would lose her apartment and possibly face jail time. If she lost her apartment, it was certain she would never leave the father's home. It was CF's worst nightmare. So I made it happen. Besides, how dare UF claim money she isn't entitled to simply due to her being too lazy to work. She was a neglectful mother when she was actually caring for her kid, leaving her kid in a wheelchair with a jam sandwich and running to the pub the moment benefit money came in. Now, she was lying and keeping a rare accessible apartment from someone who truly needs it. That more than justified it. But the thought of both of them being stuck in the same house, fighting all day and night, both too lazy to leave and too stubborn to give up the inheritance they fantasize about, that's a lovely thought to me. What makes it better? Knowing he cried his eyes out over his lost fiancée in that very same house, soaking in his miserable existence. Sorry it was long. TLDR. Husband turned into a controlling, abusive, insecure a-hole. Endured 6 months of abuse before escape. Found out he was planning to marry again before we were divorced by marrying in a different country. So told his fiancée the truth and got him dumped. Reported his hated sister to council for benefits fraud. So they are both stuck living together in the same household, waiting on father to die for inheritance. Okay, I feel like I've read this story before, but I'm just if you're gonna be a wife beater, don't. Just don't. Let's just move on. Bully kids for being gay. By the way, this is the top story of all of SupernovaRevenge. Bully kids for being gay? Time to put you in their shoes. In my school, during the time I was there was a lot of social stigma with being a homosexual within a school environment. No one ever came out publicly due to the amount of bullying and general arsery that would follow, so it was a closed shop. I'm personally straight, a victim of bullying for reasons that aren't related to my sexuality, but a victim of bullying nonetheless. I knew I wasn't able to really stop this on my own, so I just moved on and tried to make their lives better through things like programming clubs. I'm well versed in my knowledge of programming languages. During my 3rd year here, I remember there was a particular little forker whom I will brand Dipshort for this story, and he was relentless. His parents were strict Christians, but not in the sense of love and peace, more like hate and repent for things out of your control. They would let him get away with bullying the LGBT kids due to the fact that those fags, those cigarettes, deserve it for going against God. The school would try everything to prevent him, and in their defense, they did suspend him for a few days, but after the short storm his parents kicked up for this incident, he was acquitted for almost every single time after this. One particular incident caught my eye when he courted a kid who was rumored to be gay without having even been confirmed, and beat the short out of him, calling him a vegette, and telling him to repent, more so sarcastically, not in a serious sense. I don't remember the details of the case, but I'm certain nothing came of it, due to the lack of evidence, but this victim was scarred. I know this because he attempted to swallow a bowl of pills due to his desperation to escape the pain. Oh my. Frankly, I've had enough. I began to work on a particular program, which was my first rat, which allowed me to transfer files between computers as well as run commands in admin on their PCs. This was in the before times, before people were big on e-safety, which essentially gave me full control. I sent them these rats in various forms through disposable emails, so they had no idea it was me. I then began my planning, downloading various files of gay pornography, not for personal use, a kappa, and began to transfer it. I always made sure it was in places where they wouldn't look. Windows directory, sample videos, the usual. Then waited. I remember it was a day when we were all in class together. I took out my laptop, sent a single command, which was essentially a function, to do one thing. Open it all up. The greatest part about this exploit was that it also forced the sound to play through speakers as well as blasting it to full volume. Close-ups of the most depraved, poorly drawn scat water sports yowie short. Once that was all open, I just kept resending the command each time they closed it, making sure to only do it once. No one could pinpoint it was being done automatically. Obviously, the school informed his parents, and as strict Christians who remember, hate and repent, were absolutely fucking furious. IRC, they disowned him, and the local Christian community exiled him from the church, refusing to allow him back in. Without his parents, he had to live with his equally more accepting and less wealthy aunt and uncle, who constantly berated him for being gay despite his protests. It was rumored that he signed him up for electroshock gay conversion therapy. What? At school, he felt the short storm these kids felt as well, being called gay, beatings left and right. Due to this, he didn't pass any of his exams, and as such, was stuck at a dead-end job for 2 years of his life. Due to the events in his life up until that point, he took up alcohol as a suppressant for the pain, and as such was swiftly fired from his job for his ethanol-induced escapades. I'm not very sure where he is now, but I know that wherever he goes, he won't bully anyone ever again. And that is the branding I was looking for. TLDR, dip short, you're gay. Me, no you. Meme ending. We're ending this episode on the meme. But what is electroshock gay conversion therapy? That is something I've never heard of before. And it's just... what? Edit. Most people think I went too far. My intention wasn't really to punish him, more to show him what it was like. Whether or not that lasted to this day, I don't know, but never saw him bully anyone ever again. My brain's just going back to the electroshock gay conversion therapy. What would that even look like? Just stimulus on the privates. Okay, with that, I'm gonna end this episode here, end off SupernovaRevenge here, with links in the description to my main channel and my second channel, along with links on the screen to the playlist and the last episode. Go check them out. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. A ding, a ding. I'm the Mad Scientist. I'll see you over in Black Hole Revenge.